Good morning. Just got an email just as just as this opened, but I think I was still on mute. Apologies if this started with an email beep. How are you? I am on an unusual day today, I guess, because it's Tuesday and I normally do Monday morning writing sprints, but I was unavailable yesterday. So I had a weekend away with my university friends, and it was really nice. So we went to a place called Mudderford, which is near Bournemouth. I didn't really know where I was going, to be fair. I thought I was going to Hampshire, and I wasn't. I was going to Dorset, only just. It's such a beautiful place, lots of birds. We spent a lot of time walking. There was one day where we went on a long 5-mile walk in the freezing cold and the rain, looking at birds, but it was just lovely. It's the kind of thing we like. We did a degree in marine biology, so being out in nature, it's very much our vibe. I am so proud that we are still friends, because I think it's easy to lose these things. And we were so close when we were at uni, like really, really close. I sometimes joke that we were codependent, but we spent all of our time together as a group of 4 of us. And then when we left university, we promised each other that we would stay in touch. We were like, right, how do we keep this going? And we meet up, we go on little weekends away together, or we go to each other's houses, and we meet up in like 2s all the time. Well, not all the time, a couple of times a year. And then we meet up as a 4, like once a year. And I left university 20 years ago. So to still maintain that friendship means so much to me. So that's where I was this weekend, and traveled back yesterday. So I wasn't able to be online yesterday morning because we were clearing up the house, like, packing all the things and packing the cars up and everything. And then I was driving home. So yeah, it's a different day to usual. It's a Tuesday, so we're not starting the week as usual, but it's still the same vibe. This morning, I need to begin by filling in a form. So I won't actually be writing. I have a school form that I need to fill in. I thought I'd close my emails, but clearly no, because it needs to be completed by 11 o'clock. And normally that would be a bit tight when I finish this stream up. So in the first writing sprint, I'm going to fill in a form. There's lots of writing-y bits to do on it. And then I will be into some writing. So that's the plan. Today, I have to work through, I have the edits on the soil book so that I can get all the words all done. I've got one little tidying uppy bit that I want to do on the title page of it before I send it to everybody as like a, what do you think? And get the feedback on that. So that's one of my tasks today, but I'm not going to do that during this writing sprint. I'll do that this afternoon. I also need to look into, it completely passed me by that there are new European rules. So I need to look at what wording and things I need to include in my books. It gets a little complicated. I'll do a video about it, I think. But what's complicated for me is that you need to put your address in the title page. And I don't have my home address public for obvious reasons. I use some people call it a brass plate address. So the business address I use, if you look up my business, is not it's a real place, but it's not, my business isn't there. And it's where you pay to use their address, and you can pay to like accept post there and things like that, but I don't. And you can pay to have an office there, or you can, like, there's different options basically for what service you require, but mine is literally just that I'm allowed to use their address. So if I put that in my book, number one, I can't accept any contact there. I mean, I am contactable, but only sort of. And 2, I don't, what if I changed in the future, if I like got my own office or something like that? Because I feel like until I had my own sort of usable business address, I kind of, all I tend to put in my books is either London or like wherever the town is that my business is based, because it's not really a postal address. So I just put a location. because then in the future nobody's going to like try and contact me for the information in my books because it's vague. But if I put an actual address, I feel like that's different. And if in the future, I would love to have an office, actually, that is one of my goals eventually. Somewhere that I would actually want to have as like, this is where my business is based, that then wouldn't be in there. That's probably a little bit too in my head, and I probably should just put my business address in my book. But that's part of the European rules, is because the point is that you put it there so you're contactable for people to contact you about any like what's the word, like issues around the safety of the product, but I wouldn't be contactable. So I don't know. Anyway, I need to research that. I'm going to get into it. So today is going to be the usual 3 15-minute writing sprints with little chats in between. That these days are far less. I used to be quite on it with like 5 minutes. It's already 6.5 minutes and I'm still chatting. Joined today by Angel Faye. Morning, Angel. Hope you're having a good day. It might not be morning where you are. So yeah, we're going to do some writing. But say I'm starting off with a school form that needs to be done. So apologies, I'm not writing straight away. But we will meet back here for a chat about how it's going. So chat to you in a little bit. Right, I'm going to pop myself on mute. Enjoy. Okay, let's take a break. So I'm nearly done on my form. So that's good because it needs to be done by 11. So hopefully I'll have that done soon. Angel Face says it's 11:36. So they're a couple of hours ahead. They sent that a bit ago. So yeah, let's take a little break for 5 minutes. As I say, need to got lots of bits that I need to do later, but it's nice to spend the time this morning having some creative time. I think it's good to start the week that way. I did do a little bit of work yesterday. I had an order that I packaged up and bits and pieces, but I didn't get in from my trip away until quite late. So I probably did about an hour of work yesterday. It's nice actually that when I looked on my emails this morning, I have an order today as well, which is lovely, and that's through Etsy. So that doesn't alert me through my phone, whereas if somebody orders from my website, then I get an alert on my phone. I tend to check my Amazon orders. So yeah, it was just nice to get like an email notification, because with Amazon, if you're buying my children's books, not if you're buying, so if you're buying the print on demand books, then I see that in the reports that I get ages afterwards. I can look live, but whereas if it's a children's book that I'm supplying, then the way it works is I can see those orders. So I sort of look daily, and then I get an email notification once it's shipped. So basically, it's just different ways that I find out. But when it's a direct sale that I'm packaging up and signing and all of those things, if it's a website order, I get a notification on my phone straight away. Whereas if it's Etsy, then I get an email. So I just hadn't picked that up, which was just a nice way to start the day, to know that I've got an order to package up. It's always nice. I mean, writing wise, things are going quite well at the moment. The soil book is looking really good, and I think will be ready like in a really timely fashion. It's pretty stress free. It's coming together. It looks really, really cool. So although there have been stresses with that project, it's been all right. Like, it's been a pleasant experience. And then I have another book that's got illustrations going on. We're doing some character design, and then another 2 possibilities in the future. So there's like lots of things coming up, as well as the bits and pieces that I work on these live streams. So it's really nice to have lots of opportunities appearing. And I don't know sort of publication dates, but I do know that I'm going to have lots to work on this year. And I really hope that through sales and school visits and things like that, that I can manage the finances to support my time. Because that's the thing, of course, that my income means that I don't have to work a second job, or don't have to work as much on a second job. So I just feel an energy shift that this is hopefully the point at which I can start to seesaw things. I've talked about this before. I probably talk about it every week because it's something that's important to me. But yeah, that's how things are. I'm not going to be working on any of those children's books projects this morning. I'll carry on with one of the longer things because it's nice. I feel like this gives me that headspace that makes me do it. So in the next writing sprint, that's what I'm going to be doing. As always, let me know what you're up to, even if you're not watching live. It's always nice to know. And let me know if there's any regular content, not writing sprint content you'd like to see from me. Got a couple of videos planned for the next few weeks. And I'm in a reading vibe at the moment after a couple of years of not really being. So I might reinstate some of my more like booktube content that I feel I've moved away from because I wasn't reading very much. And I felt it wasn't sort of serving me in some ways to make that content, but now I feel like it is, and I'm excited by it. So yeah, that's what's occurring for me anyway. Shall we get into another 15-minute writing sprint? And we'll meet back here for another chat. I'll pop up the thing and put myself on mute before I start. Before I mute, I muted too soon. I was just going to say, enjoy. Now I'll mute. Okay, let's take another break. How did you get on? What did you write? Thank you, Emma, for joining me. If you're still here, hello. Emma's content is great. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, so I finished my form. It took me all that time. So because I had like bits I had to write into it. So that's all done. So well done me for some admin, some school admin. Excuse me. So yeah, now it will be just 15 minutes of writing, but obviously I'll carry on after the live stream. What are you guys working on? What exciting projects have you got going? It's always nice to support each other. As I say, I'm sort of finishing up the soil book, which will be out in the summer, but it should be all like finished. Sort of, I reckon it's going to take another month with all the bits and pieces, the like everything being signed off and checking it, the prints and any like last minute stuff. So it'll be sort of done, and then we'll be in the planning the launch phase, which all just feels very relaxed. That's such a nice pace. And then yeah, some other exciting bits to come up. And Angel Faye says hi to Emma Bennett. It's nice that it's a nice little community. Yeah, I like these writing sprints, I have to say. It was a thing that kind of just occurred to me it would be nice to do for myself and for other people, and whether anyone's here or they're not. I have done writing sprints where I'm here on my own. Obviously, I'm not like massively inundated with people joining me, but anyone joining me is nice, and some people watch afterwards. For me, it's just a chance to get some writing done, make sure I sit down and do it. And hopefully it's helpful to other people as well. And as I say, you don't have to be writing. It's just anything that it helps. Angel Faye isn't writing anything yet. Went to film a video about writing goals and other stuff. Yeah, I love goals. And I know some people, maybe it puts too much pressure and if you fail your goals and stuff. But I think if you make manageable goals and if you don't beat yourself up over not achieving them, because sometimes life, it's a really good way to just reflect and always be like conscientious in what you want to achieve and what direction you want to move in and what steps you need to take to get to those things. I certainly find setting goals, and for me doing it publicly, is really, really helpful. So yeah, I love a goals video. Angel Faye, I'm going to check out your channel when I get off of this writing sprint. So yeah, I think being very intentional is just a really good thing to do. And I've put my goals video up a couple of weeks ago, and I'm looking at building my profit through my business and trying to simplify what I do. There's a couple of things that I've done with the intention of doing less, and well, not doing less, like doing more productive things, and simplifying my time. I didn't explain that very well at all, but there we are. So I think, I mean, if I had a word for this year, I know some people do like words, but for me it's rest, and not in terms of I'm planning to just laze about, but I'm planning to use my time very intentionally and then slow everything down. And so far that's felt pretty good. So that's what I'm up to. Let's get into another 15 minutes. I'll pop up the banner. This is our last writing sprint. So whether you're writing or you're doing something else, I hope that this gives you a chance to be productive, and we'll join back at the end for another chat. So enjoy. Okay, that is us done. The end of our writing sprint. How did you get on? Did you get very much written? And you know what? It's always cool if you don't. Some days are productive and some days aren't. I had a really productive day on Thursday where I did tons and tons of stuff. And I'm hoping today will be similar. I've got lots of bits to do. My plan is to spend this week getting the soil book all sorted, like I said, so that can go off to Natural England to check that they're happy with it. And to finally sort out the audio books, excuse me, that I've got sat waiting to be edited. Once those are done, and everything's rolling with the soil book, then potentially I might be teaching again. We'll just see what happens. Everything's a little bit up in the air at the moment, which is fine. But just now I'm trying to get all of the tasks done. But it's feeling really good, like getting through everything. So yeah, that's my plan for the week. I'm also putting like another push into author school visits and trying to push up my sales. I've done another experiment with Facebook ads that kind of went nowhere, but I'm looking at some other social media bits. I've been fine tuning what I'm doing with social media. So, you know, hopefully everything is going in the right direction. So that's how my week is looking. I'll be back here next week on Monday. As I said, this week was unusual because I was away for the weekend, but next week I'll be here and we can start the week with some writing. But yeah, that's my plan. I mean, thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that it was productive, whether you did it live or you didn't. I hope that these videos are helpful. If you need a bit of inspo later in the week, there's all these live videos saved up, so you can click on a different one and watch it not live if you would like to. So yeah, it's all there as a resource. It doesn't have to be live. If it helps to just kind of sit and have that like segmented sprints and chats. But yeah, that's how things are. Okay, I'm gonna crack on. I've got some bits and pieces that I need to do. I've got a really rumbly belly. You can probably hear that. My videos, I would obviously edit that out, but this is live, so there we go. Maybe I should go eat something. All right, I am gonna go. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you all soon. Regular video this weekend, always goes up on a Saturday, live sprint on Monday. Have a lovely week. Take care.